Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be How to Seduce a Woman. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in it here. I've got a really good email from a guy who, he's got this girl. Obviously, he must be pretty young. She's 18, and I assume he's probably around the same age. Maybe he's in his early 20s. But basically, what's going on in this relationship is this girl apparently has just broken up with a boyfriend that she had, and this guy that wrote to me, he's been hanging out with her, and she's texting him, calling him, coming over, and what's happening is she's kind of hot and cold. They fool around a lot, and then she gets kind of cold, and so he doesn't really understand what's going on here. So I'm going to just go ahead and read it, and then we'll get into the details of it. It says, first off, I've watched a bunch of your YouTube videos, and I feel like they've taught me a lot already. I plan to read your book within the next few days. So, long story super short, I've been talking to this 18-year-old girl on and off for the past 2 months. She kept going back to her ex, then back to me like every 5 days or so. Every time she would try to just be friends, but I would tell her that's not what I wanted. Very, very smart of you. A day or two later, she'd be asking to hang out, I'd cave, and things would go good for a few days until she would go cold again. It happened like 5 times. Well, obviously you said the key thing is you haven't read the book yet. And so what's going on here is you're not able to read her body language or her physiology, and you don't know the little signs to look for that tell you when it's appropriate to come forward, to kiss her, to touch her, to hold her, to invite her to do something, those kinds of things. And so what's happening is the reason she's hot and cold is when she spends the time away and you don't call her, you don't pursue, you don't chase after her, she starts to miss you, and those feelings of uneasiness, the feelings that kind of make her feel uncomfortable, those tend to go away. I've got an article on my website, and I'll post a link in this page, that there was a scientific study that's done, and the scientists discovered the same thing that I've been talking about for a while, which is that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And so one of the key points to understand here is what attracts a woman to a guy sexually is his inaction, his non-chasing her. And what you got to understand is that in our society, when pretty much every TV program you watch or every movie that's written, they all present this false archetype of the guy just has to chase after a girl relentlessly, and then eventually she'll throw in the towel and think, oh, okay, well now I'm in love with him. And here's the problem, what most guys run into. It's being attached to an outcome, being attached to getting laid, being attached to getting a date with a certain woman. And the thing that you got to realize is that not all women are going to like you. But unfortunately, when we grow up, like when I was a little boy, I was watching these same TV programs, these same movies, and today they make the same kind of crap. It's pretty much become an accepted archetype that you just got to be persistent. And here's the thing, with men, because masculine energy is all about purpose, drive, mission in life. I mean, men, we're all about chasing things, going after the things that we want in life. But yet when it comes to women, it's the exact opposite approach. You have to hang back and chill out and let women come to you. And that's totally counterintuitive for a guy who's used to going after things he wants in life with his career, whether it's going to school, starting a business, being an entrepreneur, whatever it happens to be. And so he says, the last time, basically, she's going back and forth between, I guess, the ex-boyfriend and him. And like I said, when you do things right, she comes forward. And when you do things wrong, it causes her to become cold. But just naturally, women are going to come and go as they please based upon what their emotions are and how she feels towards you. So he says, last time, however, she told me that she wanted to be my girlfriend. Now, what you got to understand, when a woman says something to you, whether you're in a relationship or somebody that you know about her feelings or what she wants, she's being honest and truthful, because a lot of guys say, well, she told me yesterday she wanted to be my girlfriend, and today now she says she hates my guts, so she's lying. No, what you got to understand about women is when she says she wants to be your girlfriend, in that moment, That's what she means. But you gotta understand, women are emotional beings. They're not driven by logic and reason. And so one day they can say they love you, and the next day they can say they hate your guts. So he says things were good for about 5 days after she said she wanted to be his girlfriend. And then bam, cold. Then came the I just want to be single and party and have fun text. She had made mention that she wasn't emotionally ready for a relationship, but then later said, although I'm physically ready. So here's what's going on. Biggest thing is, forget about fucking relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, any kind of label. That's the one of the biggest things that guys get hung up on, is they're all worried about what they're going to be instead of just going with the flow and letting things happen. And that's why she says, I want to just be single and party and have fun. If you just let her have fun, when she calls, you arrange a date or you invite her to come over, and then in between those times, just let her come and go and do whatever the hell she wants. That's what she's basically telling you. But she says, this is beautiful, what she says here. She says that she's not emotionally ready for a relationship. In other words, she's saying, my feelings aren't there, but I'm thinking it's a possibility down the road. As long as you don't talk her out of it, is what she's communicating to you. But then she says, although physically I'm ready. In other words, she's saying, I just want to hang out and get laid and have fun and hook up. And let's just see where it goes. That's what she's communicating. I mean, she's 18 years old. I mean, she's probably exploring her sexuality like most girls are that age. And she asked if I was okay with just being friends and letting whatever happens happen. I figured doing what I had been doing wasn't working, which is smart to assume that. But you got to understand, you got to have a huge knowledge gap there. You haven't read my book yet. There's literally hundreds of techniques and tips and strategies and signs and tells of what's going on in the relationship. So you can tell how she feels about you, so you know what kind of actions you need to take or when you need to back off when it's appropriate. And so he says, it wasn't working, so I would try to remain in her life. Now, here's the key thing with that. You say, I don't mind being friends. I'm not looking for a relationship either. That's what you need to say. I'm not looking for a relationship either, but I'm not interested in being your male girlfriend. If you want to be friends with benefits or sex playmates, I'm totally cool with that. And, I'm fine with not being in a relationship or not being boyfriend, girlfriend. You have to be cool with that. Because at the end of the day, boyfriend, girlfriend, that's a woman's department. Relationship talk, forget about it. Unless she brings it up, it's not important. So, in the meantime, just hang out, hook up, get laid, have fun. And as far as boyfriend, girlfriend goes, when her emotions get to the point where she feels that way, where she feels she wants to be exclusive with you, she's going to tell you. She's going to bring it up. As a matter of fact, if you play your cards right, she's going to get to the point where she's going to want to nail you down and get you all to herself. But you got to let that happen slowly over time. These are things you can't rush with a woman. It's like baking a cake. You got to leave it in for the proper time. You try to take it out ahead of time, the cake's going to deflate, and that's when you deflate the sexual tension. It's a good metaphor to look at it. So he says, the confusing part is she keeps kissing me, she keeps hugging me and laying on me. I mean, obviously she likes you, she finds you sexually attractive, or she wouldn't be calling you, she wouldn't be coming over, hanging out, laying on you, kissing you, touching you. And I can imagine you're probably laying there going, oh, she's kissing me and making out, and you don't know what to do. What you do is you just simply reciprocate slowly when a woman comes on to you. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And the 1 step back is basically when she says, wait, slow down, it's going too fast, kind of thing. You just back up for a few minutes, pause, talk, whatever, and then take another run at it a few minutes later. Because at the end of the day, as far as sex goes, it has to be your fault. Because the way society is and religion and all this crap that we've been conditioned with for literally thousands of years, which is a bunch of bullshit, what happens is women have this little slut alarm in their head. They're worried if they sleep with a guy, how they present it to their friends. Because, oh yeah, I slept with that guy. Oh, you're a slut. They don't want to be called a slut. They don't want to feel like they're being a slut. They'd rather just be able to say, oh, we were hanging out and things were going so great. It just kind of happened. It was amazing. We had this amazing romantic evening. That's what she wants to be able to say, and she's got to blame it on you. I mean, at the end of the day, you're the man. You're the one that's going to penetrate her. It's not the other way around. And so you have to move things along to their successful conclusion, obviously. So we made out a couple times for not very long. She always makes sexual jokes and innuendo towards me. Well, the reason she's doing that is because she basically wants to hang out, hook up, have sex, and have fun. And if you just forget about the relationship and the boyfriend-girlfriend crap, she'd probably fuck your brains out. So we haven't had sex yet, but we were about to probably 2 weeks ago, but I was nervous and had problems keeping it up. Haven't had an opportunity since. She has probably slept over like 10 times, no sex mind you, and I assume she still wants to in the future. She's even told me I should take her out on dates. I mean, she's giving you all the signs that she likes you, she's interested, and she wants you. You got to read my book. I can't stress that enough. You got to learn these things because you're doing a bunch of little things that are turning her off. And if you read my book, the light bulbs would go off and you go, you'd realize what you're doing wrong. And so he says, basically my question is, clearly this girl is no good for a girlfriend. It's like, based on what? You don't know that yet. But I would like to know if you think there's still a chance I could have sex with her. Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. If she's calling you and she's chasing you, obviously she's not getting rid of you. And you just got to stick to your guns. You got to say, I'm not interested. When she says, let's just be friends, just like, hey, I'm cool with just being friends, but friends with benefits. If you're telling me that we're going to get together and I can't kiss you, touch you, hold you, want to be with you, be inside you, be sexual playmates, then I'm not interested in hanging out because all I'm going to do is give myself blue balls. And I'm not looking to be your male girlfriend. You just got to stick to it. And she says, okay, well, and then you just say, hey, call me if you change your mind. She's just looking for a cuddle buddy and using kissing to keep me around. Like, what's happening is you're getting her wound up. The sexual tension is building, but you're obviously doing things that are coming across as being weak or being needy, and then it's causing a sexual tension to evaporate. So basically, here, the last thing he asked, he says, should I just tell her that friends was a mistake and to call me if she changes her mind? Here's the deal. If she calls and texts, invite her over. What would her lover do? Invite her over, come and hang out, or you're going to take her out at night. Create an opportunity for sex to happen. Don't go to the movies. Don't do lunches. Don't sit on the fucking phone for 2 hours and just listen to her talk. And that's what a friend would do. You only want to do things that her lover would do. So when she calls you, when she texts you, talk to her for a couple minutes and just say, hey, why don't you come over and hang out? Grab a bottle of wine or whatever. Come over and hang out. Or invite her out for a date. Make definite plans and get off the phone. And if she says, no, I don't want to, I just want to be friends, then just say, well, I'm not interested in that, but hey, give me a call if you change your mind. And just leave it at that. And 2-3 days go by and she'll call you, I really miss you as a friend. Like, say, hey, I miss you too. I want to see you. I want to touch you. I want to hold you. I want to kiss you. I want to smell that beautiful cotton candy perfume that you always have on. But I'm not interested in being just your friend. And so if you want to come over and hang out and hook up, awesome. But if you're telling me you just want to be my buddy or my friend, like, I'm not interested in that. And then get off the phone. And 3 or 4 days will go by. And then she'll call you and she'll do the same thing. And eventually she's going to throw in the towel when she realizes that you're only going to be a friends with benefit. You're only going to be a sexual playmate. Then when she calls you, you're conditioning her and you're training her to treat you and think about you from that perspective. And those 2 or 3 days or the week, whatever, however long it goes in between you not hearing from her, she'll think about you. She may feel wishy-washy at first, but after a couple days go by, her feelings go up. That's how it works. It causes her to become unsure of where she stands with you. And when she calls you or texts you for that validation, then that's when you take that opportunity to arrange a date or invite her to come over and hang out. And that's all you got to do, man. And like I said, you got to read the book. That's the most important thing because there's so much information that you're missing. I mean, this is just a short article and a short video. I mean, my book's 228 pages.